Hi, this is Brandon Smiley from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about an exercise called the hex bar deadlift versus bands. This can be performed either really heavy or with a dynamic effort method, which is typically what we use deadlifting against bands with here in our facility with our athletes. So we've talked about the hex bar deadlift in the past. Everything from a technical standpoint is going to remain the same in that regard. This is mainly used for us to help develop rate of force development and speed and more power with our athletes while also using the deadlift variation. We like the hex bar because it's relatively centered in terms of mass. The weight's centered with the athlete. It's not out in front like conventional deadlift. It also is nice because we have the high handles, which put our athletes in a more advantageous position, so hips are not quite as low. People that have low back problems also tend to benefit from the hex bar over just a regular conventional deadlift. So what we've got here on our platform is we've got the bands draped over the bar. We've also got a video on how to set up bands for the deadlift, which you can check out on our YouTube channel and our website. But basically, we're going to take a resistance band and we're going to pull it over the bar and then hook it here. And it's that simple. When it comes to picking out a band tension, you want a band tension that's between 20 and 25% of your estimated 1 rep max. If you don't know what that is, take a best guess, underestimate, mainly look at the speed of the exercise that you're performing. It needs to look fast and explosive for the dynamic effort method to benefit your athlete or your client. So once we've got the bands on, we pick a weight. Ideally the weight for the dynamic effort method with the deadlift or almost any kind of dynamic effort based movement is you're going to probably use somewhere between 50 and 60% of your 1 rep max plus the bands and or chains that you have on. For this example, we're obviously using bands. So if we're just going to take a random number and say I deadlifted 300 pounds, 50% of that is 150. So here I've got 25 plus 30 kilos. That's 55 kilos. That's 110 plus that's 121. So I'm probably actually around 40%. So this is a little light for me if we were going off of that percentage, but this is just going to be able to demonstrate the exercise. So we're going to take our regular stance that we would for our deadlift with the hex bar, feet underneath our hips, chest good and tall, arms long. We're going to reach down, grab the handles, keep the chest tall the whole time as our hips go back. Our knees are going to bend as we can continue to go down. We're going to make sure we're heavy on our heels. We're going to reach good and long, grab those high handles, push through our feet, and stand up good and strong. Then we would just repeat that for however many sets and reps we had. So chest tall, down. Really trying to emphasize the pull fast aspect of this motion. So from a dynamic effort perspective for this exercise, we would program many more sets than reps. Ideally, you're probably going to see somewhere between 1 and 3 repetitions at the absolute maximum that you're probably going to do for your dynamic effort method with the hex bar, any deadlift variation in general. With your sets, that's going to depend upon time of year and the athlete and the client and a bunch of other factors, what percentage you're working at. But ideally, you're probably going to see somewhere between 6 and 12 sets for your working sets. So if you have doubles, we might end up doing 8 doubles, 10 doubles, sometimes 12 doubles with advanced athletes, especially if this is their bread and butter explosive exercise and we're not doing any kind of jumps or throws for that particular part of the year. Can dwindle all the way down to like 6x3 or 6x2. If the athlete happens to be accumulating a lot of volume from training and practice, we may scale back those sets just a little bit to give them the ability to recover from practice, but still be able to train the aspects of this that we want. So there's a lot of moving variables to this, but we want to really just show the demonstration of the exercise, how you get the bands across there, what the benefits are of using the bands and why you might use the bands. And it's had a lot of great success with our athletes and teaching them how to create force fast because the bands are constantly trying to pull the weight back down to the ground. So having to be fast and explosive with a relatively moderately heavy weight, talking about 60% here plus the bands, we're looking at an athlete handling anywhere between 70 and 80% of their 1 rep max in their hands at all times with this particular exercise and the way it's set up. So that's kind of nice, but we're also focusing on effort and building speed. So if you have any questions, leave in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.